But let's get into the Q&A. So the first question that's come in, probably one for Mag, maybe Bucky, is why liquidity as a growth goal? What does it mean that it relates to the other problems?
Yeah. So liquidity is, as I said before, sort of the lifeblood for any kind of economic activity, right? It is economic activity. It's volume, it's assets being bridged in, it's assets being minted, it's all those different things. One of the things that I believe Cosmos has struggled with in the past, which makes sense given its architecture, is the fragmentation of liquidity in different places, right? So, people come in, they bridge over their assets over something like Axelar or Skip Go or something else. They have some version of the asset and basically gets stuck on one chain, and it's not really that accessible from other chains. And so you have a bunch of little pockets of liquidity across the ecosystem. One of the things that we want to do is really unite that liquidity so that it is more accessible to more applications, right? So that we can use like the full weight of Cosmos liquidity, and it can be exciting for folks to sort of like get access to that. The hub is going to have a big piece to play here. When you have more liquidity, more developers believe that there are users there and that there are people who are trading, and that excites them because usually developers in crypto launch their own assets, right? And they want to be part of that activity and they want to tap into a user base. And so as a driving focus, setting liquidity as our North Star, or at least our initial North Star, I think will just completely change the narrative of Cosmos and make it a much more exciting place to build applications, whether those applications are smart contracts or chains. I think if you don't have enough liquidity, it becomes very hard to just win on technical improvements alone, right? And we've tried that. We've had the best technology for the past 5 or 6 years, right? We need to do more than just technology. We need to bring in users and bring in volume, because the combination of those two things is unstoppable. So that's sort of why I really view that as an important first goal.
It's really something we kind of left open, like we prioritized sovereignty, but like you were saying, Mag, like that can lead to this kind of fragmentation. And even if you look historically, like in the history of, I won't go on some tangent about the history of money here, but if you do look at the history of sovereignty, the question of liquidity between, different sovereign currencies has always been a challenge, and is the source of new kinds of innovation, the emergence of the banking system, and all that sort of stuff. So it's really, really important to preserve these ideals of sovereignty and interoperability, that we make liquidity a key focus, and so that enables the preservation of these different forms of sovereignty without causing that kind of fragmentation. And so I think that was probably kind of missing from the go-to-market and the planning and the roadmaps of Cosmos over the years, to really provide a unified liquidity story.
Yeah, looking forward to the liquidity and the devs